So last meeting, we continued to study proofs of God's existence. And my recap would be limited only on the cosmological arguments or the 5 ways of St. Thomas Aquinas. To answer the question, does God exist? St. Thomas offers as proofs the 5 ways. So the first way is the argument of the Unmoved Mover. This is the most basic and most easiest way to give proof of God's existence using the argument of motion. Everything in the world is in motion. Lahat ng bagay ay gumagalaw. And the question, who is responsible for the motion? There can be no infinite, perpetual, or continuous motion. Motion cannot go on infinity. There must be a start. Someone caused them to move. And the image or the example given was the movement of the pile of dominoes. Who caused the dominoes to move? They moved because at the start there must be someone responsible for their motion. The pile of dominoes moved inasmuch as they were put in motion by the first mover and itself and moved. The one responsible for motion is itself and moved, because we cannot have an infinite regress of moved movers. We must arrive at some point that it is an unmoved mover. May gumagalaw pero siya mismo walang nagpagalaw. The second way, the argument of the efficient cause. So understand the dynamics of cause and effect. All things are effect of a cause. In the world of senses, there is an order of efficient cause. Every object, action, or event has an efficient cause or an entity or event responsible for its creation or change. What is the cause of the stomach to grow big? Because of unlimited rice in the seminary, or the warm climate we have now. We are experiencing the effects of climate change. But what is the cause of climate change? We have to look for the first cause, for the existence of all things, which is itself and cause. This argument, same from the argument of motion, or first way, tells us there is an existence of an uncaused cause, which is the efficient cause that is not caused by another or anything by itself. This uncaused cause is no other than God. And the third way, the argument from contingency. We remember the lesson on contingent beings and necessary beings. For things or beings to exist, it must depend on another, whose existence is necessary. Some being exists of its own necessity and does not depend on another being, but rather causes them. The necessary being has no beginning and no end. Not every being is contingent, or we go again to the question, who is at the beginning? There is no infinite regression. There can be no infinite chain of contingencies. There must be something or someone who relies on nothing else in order to exist. And we cannot go to nothing because nothing can come out from nothing. Something or someone started it. And this non-contingent being is what we call or who we call God. And the fourth way, or the argument from degree. There are varying degrees of perfection. We can use ourselves as the measure to judge who is higher or lower. Below us would be the animals. We are higher than animals because we have reason. And at the bottom part would be the plants. Higher to us would be angels. Now, who is at the highest of the degree of perfection? At the pinnacle of perfection, the ultimate standard of perfection is whom we call God. And the fifth and the last way, the argument from design. We find in the world his or her right place. We find everything as orderly and systematic, including the living and non-living things. Who could have thought of this? There must be an intelligent being who created all this and ordered everything to its right place and perfect place. Why do we have night and day? So we can have rest. Imagine if no one thought of night. So we will be working 24 hours. Did you hear the complaint against a person claiming to work for 18 hours? We are designed not only for work, but for rest. And look at the design of human beings. It is perfect. Now, who is this intelligent designer? The world, with their governing laws, proves the existence of an intelligent being, an intelligent designer who is God. So after presenting the 5 ways, we have a short sharing as to whose arguments of St. Thomas do you find convincing?